before we go to our first guest, who is the Blazers Edge himself, Ben Golliver, we're going to take some audience questions, so make sure you get them in here. This is a really interesting one. It comes from our homie, Kirk, the seriousest face. What five-man unit has been your favorite to watch thus far in the short season? This is a really interesting question, and I will answer it first because I'm the only one who knew that this was coming right now. And my answer would be the all 80-inch lineup in Miami, which is Norris Cole, Mike Miller, Udonis Haslem, Shane Battier, and LeBron James. It's Norris Cole and 4 guys who are 80 inches tall. They're all 6'8". If I correct? Yep, math is correct there. And what's interesting about this lineup is that they are outscoring their opponents. They played for 42 minutes together. They're outscoring their opponents. I actually don't know if this is updated since the Bucks game, but they're outscoring their opponents by over 30 points, giving up in the 60s and scoring in the 90s. So that is a lineup that I think is really fun to watch because they space the floor. They create a lot of havoc on defense. Everyone rebounds. Everyone shares and passes. And that would be my 5-man lineup of the short season so far. Hat tip to Tom Haberstroh for the insight there.
That's quite a good lineup. I really enjoy that one. I know I'm not supposed to mention that this team exists, and I perhaps talk about them too often, but I cannot help. Yeah. Yeah, the team that shall not be named or shall sporadically be named. I happen to love their bench mob. It's a secret bench mob. You know, we all know about the Chicago one because that is for a team that's actually successful and good. But the Warriors actually have a bench mob that has a fantastic plus-minus and keeps them in games despite their the awful defense of their starters that kicks them out of games. And it's a terrible. In theory, it's a terrible lineup. It's Klay Thompson, Nate Robinson, Brandon Rush, Epe Udo, and Dominic McGuire. And this lineup does.
It's the worst lineup I've ever seen.
I know, but it does so well. It's incredible because they're great at defense. Udo and Rush team up to play fantastic defense. McGuire helps out, and then since they're so good at defense, they just need. He does. And since they're so good at defense, they just need Robinson to take stupid shots and just hit enough, 40% of his stupid shots to outscore the opposition. It's like David versus Goliath every time, and it keeps working. It's bizarre. I love it.
I think if Robinson actually only made 40% of his shots, then this lineup would be awful. But it's sometimes that he makes 0% and sometimes that he makes 80% that makes it a lineup that is worth having.
My lineup, I think here's what's interesting to me.
No, I get an answer? This is ridiculous. I'm being frozen out. I'm just going to eat my fruit snack. Go ahead and talk about me.
Okay, well, you can follow that. I'm sorry about that. But
Zach is having his fruit snack time.
No, I'm having fruit snack now.
Get the blood sugar up. No, what's interesting to me about it is teams in football that are defensive-oriented, they have a quarterback, and he's supposed to be the game manager and just not take risks. But the Warriors, when they have this defensive-oriented unit, they have Nate Robinson just taking as many risks as possible and just hoping that the odds work out and that he just hits enough of his wild shots for it to be good overall. And it kind of works because Nate doesn't turn the ball over because he doesn't pass, because he doesn't see other players. So with the venture in that sense, he plays recklessly with.
All right, Zach, who's your lineup?
Oh, I would love to tell you. My favorite lineup is the Houston lineup of Sam Dallenberg, Luis Scola, Chandler Parsons, Kevin Martin, and Kyle Lowry. They're unbelievable on the floor together. Kyle Lowry brings it all together. Chandler Parsons is a player that we should dedicate a whole episode to. This guy's pretty phenomenal. He's making plays. He dunks on people. He's kind of got terrible acne, which is unfortunate. But you have to appreciate the fact that he'll play through that acne. It is endearing. Team Parsnips.
Yeah, no, Parsons is an interesting dude. He's very athletic and very tall. But he's white, so how could we know that he could be so athletic while being tall? It blows my mind.
He does the most with the least.
Would you say
Yeah,
that
I
LeBron
hate
does
because
the most
Rohan
with
and
the
I are
most?
looking up the stats of the various players, white and black, and trying to prove. Well, we were trying to prove that there's no discrepancy between white guys' athleticism and black guys, and it's all a stereotype. And Chandler Parsons has terrible combine athleticism metrics, and I was angry at him for validating stereotypes there, and will resent him forever.
All right,
Parsons.
well, good audience question there. Watch out for that. The Rockets winning a lot of games with Zach's favorite lineup, and of course, Fruit Snack coming off the bench.